Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Mark Batson put a question out to the community as to what kind of tools do we use when we are building models. So thought I'd chime in and show you guys what I use. I already covered some of that in one of my other videos, but we'll go over some of the stuff that I use here. And if you look at this mess on my bench right now, yeah, I've been using them today. So let's go over them. One of the things that I really found that have become very useful are these jeweler's pliers that I've gotten from Hobby Lobby. This is a regular set of pliers. This thing is really handy for bending wire and cutting. I find this invaluable when fabricating or making details for the cars. And this one here is another one. This one with the round nose is perfect for again bending wires or making soft curves in the wires. If you're doing some sort of plumbing work in the car, in your models, running tubing and stuff like that. This also is a very good cutter on the inside here. So just two different pliers. They do the same job, but in two slightly different ways. And I find them invaluable, especially when I'm adding all sorts of details, like I'm doing to this here, which is the current build. Now, the next thing that I find completely invaluable, which goes without saying, is a hobby knife. Number 11 blade. This is an interesting one that I picked up, I think I got this, I think it was Hobby Lobby. And as you can tell, the handle is flat on the sides here, along with being soft and having this ergonomic grip here, which really makes it easy to use. It doesn't roll very much, so won't be falling off your bench too far, but eventually it's going to land on a flat spot and just stop. So ever since I got this, the knife has not rolled off the table. Extremely handy. Next thing, these, which as you can tell are well used, alligator clips on the wooden sticks for painting. These things are invaluable. If you see my latest video, I use them for everything. And as an extra pair of hands when you're painting, these things are great. This is one of the best tools that I think I have. Very simple, not expensive, and I didn't even start using them until recently. Don't know how I ever did this without them. Okay, so now let's go on to the next thing. We all know what this is. Little vice grip. This thing is fantastic. I use it all the time for making holes and blocks for running wires, spark plug wires, that type of thing. Invaluable, along with a really nice set of bits in all sorts of varying sizes. I've had these forever. Don't even remember where I got them. And I still have most of the bits. But this, if you want to do any sort of extra detailing, you can't do without them. Now, let's move on to the next thing. Snips. Incredibly useful for the hobby. This is a well-used set. Probably should get me another one, because I've used this one for the longest time. This is from Bandai, and they're fantastic. I mean, they still do a really good job, but I can see that the tips are getting a little worn. But when you have these, you keep one for plastic, and this one I use for cutting small, delicate parts. This one I use for cutting the bigger sprues. You know, something that you really got to bite into. Much cheaper set, because this is the one that wears out the most. Then you get another cheap set and you can use this for cutting metal tubing. As you can see, I have used this one quite a bit. This one's pretty much worn out, but I use this for cutting metal tubing for when I want to run exhaust line. You know, if you want to make a custom exhaust on a model, or AC lines or things like that, you can use this to cut the aluminum tubing And this thing is really they really come in really handy. So I keep 3 of them, each one for its specific purpose, so that I'm ready to cut and splice whatever I need to cut and splice. Now, another tool that I find incredibly handy is really good set of tweezers. This one I got from Hobby Lobby. Not too expensive, but you can see that fine needle point there. These things can hold on to the smallest object and give you the ability to really get into small areas and place your parts down, which came in really handy for this thing. Now I use several different types of tweezers. These no-name brands, and these are from Tamiya, with a slightly wider tip. Now this is a good quality tweezer right here. This comes in very handy. Then I use, hold on just a second, guys. Where did I put that other one? Oh, here it is. Okay. Then we have these for when you gotta go in deep and you really need the length to get into something. These come in extremely handy. Then I have this small little bit here for grabbing some wider parts. You know, these come in handy for decals at times, but all of these I use in my day-to-day modeling. You gotta have more than one set of tweezers. That's one thing I say is a must in this hobby, because you gotta be able to attack different problems in different ways. Okay, so the next interesting tool that I use quite a bit, the Tamiya handy drill. This is really cool because this is actually a model kit that you buy and build, and it's also a low-speed drill. If you have to drill something and you have to do repeated drilling, sometimes with the vice grip, your hands will get really tired. This thing comes with multiple chucks so that you can hold a different variety of drills, and you can even fit some of the drills from your vice grip in here. And it just comes in super handy, which is why it's called a Tamiya electric handy drill, because it is super handy. Kind of fun to build too. So when you think of it, Tamiya, model company that makes you build your own tools, but they're very cool. Okay, what else this has become one of my favorite tools, a photo etch bender. For you guys out there who do photo etch, I've gotten into more and more of it as I go along with these builds. This stuff is invaluable as it allows you to make super straight bends in the photo etch, to fold it and, so that you can shape it into whatever it's supposed to be. And this thing is fantastic. See all the different sizes and all the different curves and bends that you can get. You can find these on Amazon. And I gotta tell you, I'll never do photo etch again without this. Okay, what else can we talk about on a day? Oh, here we go. My second pair of eyes. I cannot do this hobby at all without this. This thing, you can pick them up at Hobby Lobby. They're about $20. They usually come with 2 lenses. I took the other lens out because I don't really use it. This one here is perfect for my particular eyesight. You have a third lens here, which that one kind of broke off. I dropped this thing a few times. But it's comfortable. I mean, you're padded in the back, padded in the front. Once you tighten it up and set it up, and all of these knobs allow you to make all the adjustments, and it's really comfortable to wear. I mean, I forget I have it on sometimes. And the cool part is, it's got 3 LED lights with different intensities. Again, I could not do this hobby without this, because when you want to really see something up close and sharp, there's no better way than to use one of these things. And there's a whole bunch of different types. This one was a gift from Mrs. Onyx Fierro, and it's one of the most useful tools I've ever gotten. Okay, what else? Oh, here's one which is very handy. Paint mixer. This thing here, use it all the time, as you can tell by all the paint on the shaft. This is a no-name brand from, I got it on Amazon, and it works just as well as the expensive ones. I mean, basically, it's just a small motor that spins. That's all they all are. And I think it runs off one battery. And the thing is just easy to use, inexpensive, fantastic. Love this thing. Especially when you use Tamiya paints primarily for your paints, and you know they always settle. The pigment always separates. And you gotta mix them up. This is fantastic for that. Okay. I didn't realize how many tools I actually used in day-to-day model making. And I've used most of these on every build that I do. Okay, we can keep going. The next thing which I find invaluable is a full set of needle files. This set here, which I got from Hobby Lobby, I haven't seen them there since. This is the only time I've ever seen a set this small. And I wish I could find this set again. But this allows you to get into places, tiny little places, that the regular needle files, because I also have this set, also from Hobby Lobby. But this little one, invaluable, and I haven't seen them sold anywhere since, including Hobby Lobby. Keep going back to check and they never have them. Okay, let's talk about one of my most favorite tools, which hopefully it's charged up, my Keshi rotary tool. This I use on every model. It's cordless, USB charged. Doesn't last as long as I would like, but it really, really, really brings your game up a notch when you're polishing. This thing comes with you can buy the polishing pad separately. Get the 3 polishing pads for medium, coarse, and fine. And this thing, its first speed to start polishing, and it's really safe. I tried using a Dremel once, went right through the paint in like 2 seconds. This thing is such a low speed thing that it'll very difficult unless you really keep over polishing that you'll burn through your paint. As you can see, there's quite a bit of polishing compound all over this thing. This is a tool that I will not build an automotive model without, because this is how I get really great finishes. Okay. What else do we have? Very simple, yet very important tool. Everybody make sure you got a good pair of scissors on you, as this thing comes in these scissors come in very handy for cutting everything from decals to thin sheets of styrene. Good pair of scissors, very important tool, something that's very easily overlooked. Something else that's very easily overlooked and also very useful, an old toothbrush. Preferably an old one, because I don't think you want to brush your teeth with this after you finish cleaning out all the panel lines of wax and residue. This worked really good for once you start compounding and it gets into the door panels and the door jambs of your models. Yeah, you're going to start polishing, you're going to see it get stuck in there. You can just give it a quick wipe. Make sure they're very soft bristles so you don't scratch your paint. And you can just clean them out and continue polishing. And that way you can see all the work you've done and everything that you need to get to. So, toothbrush, guys, don't throw them out when you're done using them. Repurpose them. reuse, recycle. Okay. What else? Oh, here's another very useful tool, which is not this one. I grabbed the wrong thing because I don't see the one. Another useful tool, Sharpie. Goes without saying. Very useful. Comes in handy a lot. What else do I have here? Oh, sanding sticks. These are from Micro Mesh, dual angle. Very, very handy with the small tip, the wide body here, and then the other small tip. I don't know why you need dual angle, but I mean, that's their thing, I guess. Comes in many different grits. Very, very handy. Everybody should have a good pair of sanding sticks. Or sanding sticks? Would you call this a sanding stick? I don't even know what I'd call this. I recently picked up this set. I haven't had a chance to break these out and use them yet. I did pick these up, coming in quite a few different grades. All the way up to 7,000, look at that. Cool. So, haven't used these yet, so I don't know how good they are. These are Infini models. Well, and the softness of them. See the sponginess, spongiosity, whatever. Really allows them to conform to unusual shapes, which will allow you to get in there and sand even curves and crevices. And speaking of sanding, a good supply of sanding sponges. I have a ton of them from Tamiya, all different grits. One of the most handy tools to have. I love the Tamiya sanding sponges. I know other companies make them, but for me, it'll always be the Tamiyas. Okay, let's see what else. I know I'm just going. This is just rapid fire here, so. But just hang with me, guys. I think we're getting to the end. Okay, guys, this is another cool tool that I use quite a bit. Maybe not on every build, but I do use it quite a bit. This is actually a hole puncher for leather belts. But I found that it comes in really handy when you need to cut out small circular bits of styrene. It'll punch right through them. Or you need to cut the instrument panel gauges. I mean, this thing just pick the size hole you want, the diameter you need, and hold on, how does it go? And turn the dial to whichever diameter you need. You have quite a few choices to pick from, and it really works nice at punching out straight up holes and stuff like this in styrene and paper and plastic and stuff. This is coming very handy a lot. This is again from Hobby Lobby. In their jewelry section, I think I found it. Now this one, I don't use it much, but when I need it, it is the handiest thing in the world. This is a vacuum suction pump. You put the tip on the end and you can pick up items such as glass. You press the button to suck, and then you press it again and it lets the air back in to release the part. So you can pick up a part with this. Let's say you're putting a piece of glass in. You're putting in the windshield, you press the button, grab it, place the windshield, release, and there it goes. Basically, it's just a suction cup on a stick. Really handy tool. This I found on Amazon. Comes with different size suction cups on different bits, angled, straight. Angled in the other direction. And teeny tiny little suction cups as well. So you can get to almost anything that you need to get to. This is a really cool little kit, and something I think we should all have in our toolboxes. Another kit is an engraving tool. or etching tool. I don't know whatever you want to call it. This for engraving panel lines, deepening them, works really good. Comes with a variety of bits. This is a really inexpensive one I found on Amazon. Like I said, you can get all these tools. You don't have to buy the top of the line tools. You can really go with the less expensive stuff, and it works just as well. So this is a really cool one. It's worked very well for me, and really wasn't expensive at all. Okay. Here's something else that comes in handy for photo etch: bending pliers. They work kind of like the photo etch bender, but these are pliers, so you can get in with a little more dexterity and get things into areas that you normally can't fit that big bender in. Really cool tool. Come in very handy. And then we have another set of tweezers from Tamiya. Very handy with the bend in the top of the tweezer and the flat heads. Allows you to pick up stuff and move it into all sorts of different directions. And then we have tweezers for photo etch parts. You can see how tiny the tip of this is. But some of those photo etch parts, I mean, you'll go nuts trying to pick them up. And this comes in extremely handy. Okay guys, another really important tool that I use on every build, and this is really on every build, is my paint booth and airbrush compressor tools. Ever since I've discovered airbrushing and learned how to do it, I'm really enjoying it. Really makes it fun to add a lot of details and paint to the cars and anything else you're building. Cars, mecha, aircraft. Airbrushes just really allow you to get certain effects that you just can't get with the spray can. Not that I mind using spray cans, because I use spray cans a lot, because sometimes it's just a little easier and quicker to use than an airbrush. But airbrushing for certain jobs, I've found since I've started using them, invaluable. I love it. So now every build I do is a combination of brush and can, which I think is the perfect place to be. Another item, I just picked this one up, is craft saws. This one's from Tamiya. The blades, the handle, and then I also got from Tamiya these that you can bend and fold and use in your X-Acto hobby knife. These work really good. They saw nicely, but they are very fragile. I mean, you can bend these in a heartbeat without even realizing it. So these are very fragile. These are much more durable, but these are much finer tooth than these larger ones. Okay, I think that about covers the majority of the stuff that I use on a day-to-day basis when I'm modeling. Like I said, I don't use all of this stuff on every build, but I do use all of it, or at least some or most of it on every build that I do. So I know there was a lot. I threw it all out there. There is more stuff, but I'd have to dig it out. I'm not going to do that right now. I figure I've bored you guys enough. Or hopefully I haven't. So anyway, Mark, that's my stockpile of stuff that I use for modeling. And it was a really cool question, and I'm really enjoying seeing what all the other guys use. I've gotten quite a few ideas of stuff that I don't have from some of the other guys. And that's what this is all about. Sharing what we know, and hopefully someone gets something useful out of it. Alright guys, remember, like, subscribe, just even if you don't like it, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want to do. Just let YouTube know that you're watching. And that works to help spread the channel. Alright, now I'm going to get back to my build of the Fiero red and blue. If you're following the channel, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, then you should be. All right, guys, I'm going to go back to working. You guys, I will see you on the next one.